Hello everyone, it's Chemicator. Welcome back to my channel. Today I come up with another beautiful complex scaffold. Ganoapplanin is a polycyclic molecule belongs to the Ganoderma Meroterpenoids, a class of structurally diverse natural products, comprising more than 100 members isolated from fungi of the genus Ganoderma. Structurally, these secondary metabolites share a common hydroquinone motif connected to a farnesyl or granule-derived terpenoid scaffold. Accordingly, three subclasses of this family have been identified. Linear Ganoderma Meroterpenoids consist of a hydroquinone connected to either a C10 or a C15 terpenoid chain. Polycyclic Ganoderma contains a hydroquinone motif connected to a polycyclic ring system, and dimeric Ganoderma consists of two hydroquinone units attached to a terpenoid backbone, which increase the level of structural complexity. Ganoapplanin was isolated in 2016 and stands out from a structural perspective. It features 5 contiguous stereocenters, 2 of which are quaternary, and an unpresented spirobiacetal skeleton, constructed from a 4-fused 6-membered ring tetracyclic system in which the bi-aryl skeleton includes tetraorthosubstituents. Moreover, this fascinating architecture contains dioxotricyclo-4-330-dodecane scaffold. The first total synthesis of this amazing molecule was represented in 2024 by Magauer group from Innsbruck University. Now let's run through retrosynthetic analysis. Magauer group used latest edge oxidation strategy to install lactone moiety and this oxygen atom, which is required for spiroacetal formation. Further simplification of this intermediate provided dearomatized acetal, which can be envisioned as the product of intramolecular 1,4 addition followed by intermolecular aldol condensation between quinine monoacetal and aldehyde. At this point, the starter fragment has been separated from the target molecule. This aldehyde can be achieved by titanium-mediated iodolactonization of the corresponding alkene, which can be dissected to this aldehyde and vinyl iodide. Now let's analyze the Kovác synthesis. This process enjoyed convergent strategy instead of linear synthesis. The southern and aromatic fragments synthesized separately. Then these two fragments joined together, and in the final step this intermediate underwent oxidation to complete the synthesis. Let's start off by synthesis of southern fragment. Firstly, this aldehyde coupled to the alkene by NHK reaction, and in situ protection of the resulting secondary alcohol by TbSCl gave this intermediate. Next, titanium T-butoxide, cupric oxide and excess iodide furnished the bicyclic lactone. Mechanistically, the double bond attacks to the iodide and create an iodine-bridge 3-membered ring. On the other side of the molecule, titanium activates the carbonyl group and sets the stage for an intramolecular nucleophilic attack. Although there are 2 sites for cyclization, only 5-membered ring is produced based on the Baldwin rules. After that, iodide ion attacks to the methoxy group and triggers another intramolecular nucleophilic attack, leading to the bicyclic intermediate. The advantage of this reaction is its diastereoselectivity. In other words, the transition state adopts a chain-like conformation, favoring an orthogonal alignment of the alkene and the OTBS, which allows the formation of only one diastereomer. In the next step, the ester moiety was removed by Krapcho reaction, followed by allylation of the lactone, which underwent ozonolysis to complete the synthesis of southern part of the molecule. The synthesis of the northern fragment started with protection of phenol and reduction of carboxylic acid substituents. The resulting benzylic alcohol underwent substitution reaction with potassium bromide, which set the stage for installing of 1,4-hydroquinone on the molecule. Then, phenyliodine diacetate dearomatized the benzyl ether intermediate to a 4th quinone monoacetal. With access to the aromatic and terpenoid fragments, the stage was set for their fusion. For this purpose, a cascade reaction was designed to furnish the desired product. The cascade initiated with treatment of quinone monoacetal with triethylborane and oxygen, in the presence of tributyltin hydride, which initiated an intramolecular radical reaction to produce a 3-fused 6-membered ring. Notice that ring closure leads to the Cis Fused ring system. This stereochemistry directs the approaching of aldehyde in the next step of the cascade, which is the ller reaction. Mechanistically, the reaction passes through a boron-mediated 6-membered transition state. The aldehyde approach enolate from the top base, which is the less hindered side due to the cis configuration of the fused rings. Now let's plow through the rest of the synthesis. After assembling the northern and southern fragment, this intermediate was first oxidized with des-Martin periodinane to the ketone. Then the exposure of the ketone to DBU followed by treatment with tosylic acid led to the smooth aromatization. Next, this protected alcohol underwent debenzylation by treatment with Perlman's catalyst. Notice that the protecting groups have been chosen so that only one of them is deprotected. So using the correct protecting group is crucial to map out the successful synthesis plan. Next step is converting this alcohol to the corresponding aldehyde. The others pointed out protecting the phenol is required to prevent decomposition. So treatment acetic anhydride and triethylamine lead to the chemoselective protection of phenol. Then exposure to DMP yielded aldehyde, which was converted to phenol through sequential deprotection with bromotrimethylsilane and hydrogen fluoride pyridine. In the next challenging step, the carbonyl group should be selectively installed on this carbon atom. To this end, using a phenyliodine bis-trifluoroacetate in an aqueous mixture of acetone and acetonitrile led to a smooth oxidation to give quinone. Now 3 carbonyl groups is successfully installed on the molecule, so the stage is set for building bis-biacetal skeleton. This intermediate entered to a cascade by using sodium dithionite. As a result, the corresponding hydroquinone attacked to this carbonyl group to afford the hemiacetal skeleton. This intermediate is unstable, so immediate treatment with tosylic acid and trimethyl orthoformate in methanol formed spirobiacetal as a single diastereomer. The reason of this diastereoselectivity is stereoelectronic effect, which involves orbital interaction. To gain a deeper understanding, zero in on the 3D model of spirobisacetal intermediate. The anti-periplanar arrangement of orbitals is essential for maximizing orbital interaction. It means that orbitals should be anti, parallel, and planar to interact effectively. Now focus on this segment of the molecule. Under thermodynamic control, these 2 carbon-oxygen bonds arrange such that one of the lone pair of this oxygen and antibonding orbital of this bond have anti-periplanar arrangement, which allows the effective orbital interaction, leading to more stability. Such stabilizing interaction also exists in this part of the molecule, where a lone pair of this oxygen atom interact with empty orbital of the carbon-oxygen bond. So these 2 stereoelectronic effects govern the stereoselectivity of the reaction. In the next step, the carbonyl group should be installed on this carbon atom. Before benzylic oxidation, the phenol should be protected, so it converted into acetyl ester. The others pointed out standard conditions for benzylic oxidation resulted in decomposition. However, employing a Cooper-mediated oxidation protocol in the presence of TBHP allowed the formation of lactone. Finally, the protection of acetyl group using potassium carbonate afforded the target molecule.